guys, welcome back to another one of our Winterfest, Buildfest, Fest videos, because we're not done with the 25 days yet. So, I don't know. I'm in a silly mood today. But we are working on actually a school today. This is going to be a private school, probably run by Emmy Strickland, but basically it's like a merchant's school. It's a bit of a trade school, so it will be child-age Sims and young teens learning a skill, learning some sort of business something going on. I don't know. I knew that she was knowledge-minded, and I also wanted a couple more schooling options. I just think that it would be fun. And if it was going to be a merchant school, well, they're not really going to just teach their letters and sums and stuff. They're going to want to teach them a trade. That's the point of sending them. Rather than sending them to an apprenticeship, you would send them here, and then they would go on to an apprenticeship with kind of some skills already, so they would be more likely to be chosen, was kind of my thought. I don't really do too many apprenticeships, but like, I do let teens get teen jobs and pretend that's an apprenticeship, so that sort of thing. We have the building up front, which is like the main learning area. I end up putting like, it's like a little lectern thing where like a sim can teach skills. And then another little table just with chairs, like kind of informal learning. And then the two in the back are the skill-based items. There is technically a gender divide here of girls and boys, but only because I feel like in Edirann, people would be more likely to send second sons, third sons, if they were like noble families that didn't know what to do with their extra sons, or merchant families that are like, well, he's not going to inherit, so let's get him a different trade so he's not competing with us. Daughters would be less likely because they would be helping their husband with his specific trade, but they still are sent out. Like, I know people get this idea of medieval women not doing anything, and that is not the case at all. They very much had jobs. Depending on the society, they were doing lots of things. Even, it's not medieval, but like Roman women, like, things were happening. There were trades that were considered mostly women's spinster. It's a mean word, or it was a mean word for a minute. Now no one really cares, but like, it was describing a woman with a job. So yeah, but in Edirann, it does happen. I will say boys tend to be more favored. It's kind of changing, especially with the things going on with Ava Flenley and Salome Blumenthal. Quite possibly the laws in Edirann will change. There's nothing hard and fast that says the oldest son inherits, but there's also nothing that forcibly makes anyone choose anything. It's just tradition. So we're gonna have to see what happens there, what develops, but in the meantime there is a school. I will have Emmy purchase this lot and then be paid to teach the children various things. I did have to reload because I was having some pink flashing. And then there'll be a cut because I was like, alright, I'm taking way too long picking out items. This actually took me a really long time to do this lot because I had a vague idea, but to begin with, I had no real solid plans. I was just kind of, I just didn't know what to do. I knew I wanted a school, but like, the practicality of it, I'm like, okay, but what are they actually doing here? What is the point? So as you can see, here's a bunch of items. And I'm like, all right, let's just start plunking things down. So I didn't want traditional, a bunch of desks with chairs, because it didn't make sense for what this is. I figured a table like this, where maybe the younger students who aren't trusted to practice in the like trade rooms are in here being verbally instructed on things or listening to a lecture. And then the other students who are kind of teaching themselves at that point go into the other areas. There is a little play area because they are kids. I really wanted to include like smelting and stuff, but again, I also had to think like, okay, if they're merchants, what sort of things specifically are they going to be wanting their children to learn? Probably not like lower trades or things that are more manual labor based, because they're always thinking about moving up. So they would want them to learn painting and like carving gnomes is one of the things that I put in here, and like fancier trades, shall we say, versus kind of the dirtier, messier, kind of grimier trades. And I think it worked out. Ugh. I'm in a weird mood, but I'm like also tired. I don't know why. I slept really well, but I'm sleepy. I'm a sleepy Evie. I need to go finish cleaning up downstairs, and I don't want to. Like, sometimes you're just not motivated to do things, and you're like, all right, and so you like put it off, and you do other things that you do need to do, but like you're not doing the thing that does have a time constraint a little bit. I'm like, oh, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do this thing over here, but like those things could be done I could be doing this voiceover at any other point, but I'm doing it right now because I don't want to do the thing that I'm supposed to be doing. I just need to finish getting everything ready downstairs. And I don't want to. So yeah, this is where I'm kind of starting to decide which things are going to go where. And I'm not necessarily going to only allow girls in this room and only boys in the other room. It's kind of whatever they gravitate towards, but it is sort of suggested. Because, again, historically speaking, women were the ones who were making clothes, who were spinning wool and dyeing wool and that sort of thing. So it's encouraged. I also put the little herbalism station, flower arranging, basket weaving, little bonsai I think ends up going outside. I decided against including the instruments. I liked them, but it's too much. This isn't a bard's college. This is, like I said, merchant class for the most part, or extra noble sons and daughters or gentry that are like not very high up, and they don't really want to send them to like the clergy or whatever. Like, they want them to be able to support themselves. So there's woodworking, painting, a little scribe's station. Or no, I think I get rid of that. It was being difficult. No, I don't. I leave it. Yeah, that's like a stone carving, pottery. Things that are still seen as respectable. It's kind of like moving everything around. There's just so much that I wanted to include, and I was like, okay, this is too much. So I tried to take anything away that was like, quote unquote, a dirty job. I did keep the gem cutting, but that's because it's fancier materials. And then I just had kind of decorative items like the wood for the woodworking area over here that I kind of set up. I decided to put candle making in the big room just because there wasn't a lot of space in the small one. I don't know if making chocolates is the best idea in a space like this where there's woodworking and pottery and all that, but you know, whatevs. Whatevs. It's fine. It'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. I also wanted to include an alchemy area, but again, this isn't the place for it. I have a mage school, sort of, so. I do use these big sign banner things as like representative of crown approval. I couldn't remember which one I used for the blooming balls, but like, I just picked one. But to show like that they do have approval from the crown to be running this business, it's kind of a nod. He doesn't give that to everybody, so it's a status thing more than anything. I really had a lot of deco to work with, but I didn't end up using a lot of it. I like that I was able to use the blackboards at least, though. And I did think about doing a bit of a festive decoration, and I was like, no. I wanted to use a lot of books, but I was trying to be judicious in what I did and did not use. I like those little horology picture things. I honestly kind of want to print them out and put them in my real life gaming room. Just as like a nod. Because, what can I say? I am a simmer, and that is my lot in life. As you can see, it's kind of coming together now. It's more cohesive. I know what's exciting I could talk about. Today, December 19th, is Judy's Gotcha Day. I've officially had her for 4 years. And it's so funny because every time we've had a new vet, which was twice because we moved, they're like, yeah, she's like a year or two old. I'm like, no, she's definitely older than that. Because she was a full-grown dog when I got her, so she was at least a year old. So I also, when they ask how old she is, I'm like, you know, between 4 and 8, although now it's going to be between 5 and 9, because I have no idea. It's the beauty of adopting a stray. You kind of don't know. They do it by their teeth, but like, she could have just had really good teeth and been 9 years old when I adopted her, for all we know. We know she had puppies once, and that's the only solid thing for sure that we know about her. So yeah, that was exciting. She's gotten a lot of treats, and now she's being a bit of a brat, so I had to stop. I really wanted to use that table, but it doesn't have slots in the top, and it's very, very annoying because it's so pretty. So I'd use something else. But at this point, I'm kind of getting together how I want things to look, what I want in each of the spaces. I really wanted like a sewing based area over here. I wanted the spinning wheels. Broke out the OMSPs. I don't know how I'm gonna run this school yet. I don't know if she's gonna have like set classes or like free time. I'm gonna figure that out when I next play their household, which will probably be in a year, but maybe by then I'll have some ideas. I am curious if you have trade schools in your neighborhood, how you run them. That would be fantastic to hear about, because again, I don't know how I want to do this, so please let me know. And if you don't have one and want one and end up building one, also let me know, because again, I like to hear about the things, and as simmers, I think we all take inspiration from each other and do things differently, and it's great. Especially when I don't know what I want to do. I knew there needed to be a stool on those, but I couldn't remember which side it was supposed to be on, so I just kind of plunked them down. I'm gonna fix the candy making station because it just clip, but it's so good. And there's a soap dispenser, oil distiller, and then the candle making. I wanted to have like a shelf for made candles, but there just wasn't the space. There's really only one easel set up, but it's alright. I love this clay set that I have. It's a little modern, like technically the clay is wrapped in plastic, but like I don't care. It's so good. It is so good. I definitely need to build like a whole pottery studio with it. Because it's so good. It's such a good set. And I wanted the frames just for like, there's a painting area, so I didn't even use the whole set because I was like, all right, I can't really set up more stuff for this, but yeah, a little bit of broken pottery on the ground and then some setup for the painter. I'm really excited to play this lot, actually. Like, I was nervous about it, but like, I think it's actually gonna be really fun. And it'll just give them a lot more basic items to work with if they open shops and things like that. Again, practicality. That was the name of the game. I love these little tool things, but you have to place them using a cheat or else there's a weird shadow. But they're so good. I think they're from The Witcher. Not sure. But yeah, that's basically everything. I'm just gonna do some recolors and stuff, but this is a lot. This is it. Oh, I do put the saddle thing inside. That's good, because I was like, did I? I don't remember. So yeah, a couple different things. I put the little cards there as like an idea of the kids playing games in their off time, but that is the finished lot. So let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like. It really does help, and I'll see you in the next one.